What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks about how to basically learn to code or learn any skill when you have bad internet or you don't have like a home internet like I didn't have it from in 2018 and before that. So to just start off, I just want to give you guys a video overview of what we're going to cover. So basically, like I said, we're going to be using web development as a reference, and this you can honestly apply to almost anything in the coding space or even in different other skills that you might want to learn. And this is actually what worked for me. And I will also say that, whatever I say is not necessarily going to work for everyone. You just need to take what I said and take the bits that are going to work for you, tweak some things and all of that because we all have different circumstances. On my situation, however, is that the situation was that I didn't have internet at home and I didn't have a laptop. So basically, I had my Android phone and I was using a desktop. And in South Africa, which is where I am, data prices are kind of like high. So sometimes you just have to buy like the night datas or the night data packages. So yeah, basically that's the overview. And the other thing you need to know is that you will still need the internet. So this is not me teaching you that you can learn how to code completely without the internet. You probably can if you pick up a book and all of that, but you would still need to download some software and all of that stuff. You see. So the trick around this is that you don't have stable internet and you don't have internet at home. So you should probably look into things like public Wi-Fi hotspots. Like I said on my side, buying nighttime data bundles or packages was cheaper, so I went for that. Some of you might be staying to some libraries or malls that offer Wi-Fi. And another thing is you can visit a friend or visit someone you know with good Wi-Fi. And the first thing I would say you need to do is you need to download all the software you need and more. So, and more, that part is like you don't think you need it now, for example, but you think you might need it, please download it. It's better to have access than to not have, basically. So the first thing you're going to need in terms of web development, you're going to need to download your browsers, which is Chrome, and then you should also probably download another one like Mozilla Firefox or Edge, and then you need to get your text editors, VS Code, Sublime Text, Atom. You should probably get two of them, maybe VS Code and Sublime Text. And you need to also get your compilers and interpreters. So in my case, it was just Node.js. For some of you, you might need to get Python as well if you're going to be using Django, or you need to get your Rust or whatever compilers you will be using. And you need to download your databases. I didn't use all of them. I mostly used Postgres and MongoDB, but I also had MySQL. Yeah, and then other things you will need, obviously, you'll need Git, you'll need GitHub Desktop, you'll need Postman, and anything else that you think you might need. And the other thing that's very important that for me honestly did push me a lot was PDFs. At the time, Tutorials Point offered free downloads for their PDFs. So what I did was I downloaded their PDFs and had most of them in my computer. So I didn't need to be on the internet to actually learn most of the time. Because if I'm doing HTML stuff or CSS stuff, I would be having a PDF that has so many tutorials taking me through different sections. So please look into free PDF, ebooks, and free tutorial PDFs. So one of the most famous ones is Eloquent JavaScript. And yeah, basically I downloaded that. I did enjoy it and I didn't really finish it because there was no need. I was quite fine. And I would say obviously you don't want to be stuck on books. You should probably pick on projects and start failing and trying again and learning how to solve problems and learning how to find information. And another way you can find ebooks is you just go to Google and type free whatever technology, like for example free JavaScript PDF book download, and you probably will find something. And also the other thing you can do is you can join social media network communities, like for example Facebook groups and things like that, and just post in there, hey guys, who has JavaScript books that they can send me or they can share with me, and people can even share with you a Google Drive link where you can find all the information, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. The other thing you need to do is that you should download videos. Please do this one. That's what I actually did. And the way you do it is you don't download a video like, if it's a playlist, you don't just download part one. If you have internet and you know at home there's no internet, you have to download the entire playlist. And for example, for example, download crash courses. And for a specific learning path, like don't download just from one creator. Like I mostly watched Brad Travesty, like Travesty Media. I would download from Travesty Media and the Net Ninja. So for the same kind of like tutorial, maybe for just JavaScript, I'll be getting from these two creators. Because if maybe I don't understand one, I can also just go and watch the other one. The reason for that is I know I don't have internet at home. So I don't have to wait for tomorrow to be able to see if I can get alternative creators who are going to be teaching the same subject. And Udemy has free courses that have a download option on them. And also with YouTube Premium, you can actually download. And I know YouTube Premium sounds bad because it's like you have to pay. And I know mostly you might not be in a situation where you can pay for stuff. But yeah, I also did download YouTube videos. There's other third-party applications that allow you to do this, but you need to be aware and make sure that you're not breaking any laws because YouTube does not allow people to download YouTube videos. So that is not something you should be doing. So probably don't do that and look into other means. And the other thing I did was I downloaded website pages. So that was one of the coolest things. There's a website called W3 Schools, one of the biggest for web development. I think a lot of people know it, especially if you learned. I mean, yeah, if you've been doing web dev for a while now, you probably know this website. If you're starting out, it's a good thing now you know about it. So there's applications or softwares that can help you with this. There's HT track, and then you can get it from httrack.com. And there's also Archivebox. You can get it from archivebox.io. And what you do is you go into this software and you put in a URL, and then you hit download, and it's going to download that website locally. And then you can, so on, like you just go to that locally downloaded file, open the index file, and the website will be available for you offline, basically. And obviously, not all the functionalities of the website will be available offline, but most of it will be available in terms of like reading content or looking at the tutorials and things like that. This really helped me a lot, so I would suggest you look into it. And the other thing was, when doing tutorials, people would say, okay, use the CDN maybe for Bootstrap or for Material CSS or whatever. You probably shouldn't try CDNs because you don't have internet at home and you don't want that to hinder your learning. So what you should do is you should download those CDNs, right? Basically, and have them locally, as well as any fonts that you want to use on your website and have them locally. So if you want to download a CDN, you probably just, well, not probably, you should just copy the link of the CDN, paste it on your browser, right click and say save as, and it'll probably like be like, okay, save as CSS or JS or whatever file that CDN is saving. And then once you have downloaded that file, you can put it on your project and link it in your HTML file or JavaScript file, whatever you need to do. And the other thing you need to do is I didn't really use this much, but if you're going to be trying things like AWS or Firebase, even GCP, what you need to do is get emulators for these things because you know you won't be having good internet. So try to emulate their functionality and what they can do and what they do. Firebase, I know they offer a lot of emulators. I haven't really used them much. I know AWS also has some emulators and GCP. And the last one, or not really the last one, but the last one, but it has huge significance is how do you deal with bugs and errors while coding offline? Sadly, there's not much you can do. But what you can do is you can prepare for when you get internet access. So make sure you screenshot your error messages or copy the text of your error messages. And then when you get internet, whether that would be from visiting your friend or going to a public Wi-Fi hotspot or something like that, you will search for the solutions and you will basically go for the solutions maybe on Stack Overflow. Screenshot multiple solutions. So for example, solution number 1, solution number 2, solution number 3. For example, in my case where you're using a desktop and you can't really test the solution right away, like you're using your phone to search for the solution, take a lot of screenshots of solutions for the same problem so that when you get home, you're not disappointed after taking only one screenshot of one solution and it still doesn't work. Trust me, sometimes that happens, that a solution worked for other people, but it just doesn't work in your case. So better to try and take screenshots of multiple different solutions. Then you go home and you try them out. And that for me is how I actually did it. That's how I learned how to code offline, or not really offline, but being mostly offline and not having home internet. And one thing I want to say at the end is to encourage you, is to say that, you know what, I know it's kind of tough, the situation that you're in. You wish you had internet at home. But for me, I find it that that's actually our superpower, the kind of people that we are, where we don't have all these privileges, because it means we don't have the internet to deal with things like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Whenever we get the internet, we will be appreciative of it and we will use it to learn. And I think that this disadvantage is our advantage, because it allows us to focus even more. Because if you're coding offline, there's not a lot of notifications going on. And I know it really sucks. I've been there. But I'm telling you, you're going to be so far. So don't be dismayed. Don't be discouraged. One day you'll be able to afford your own home internet, even a car, and things like that. And things are going to go so well. And right now, this is your superpower. Take it as I'm not distracted. And when I have internet connection, I'm going to use it to achieve my goals. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this tutorial or this advice or whatever it is. I hope that you make it, and yeah, you do wonderful things for yourself and your family, just like I have. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Bye. See you in the next one.